Hello, it's me again, and I've been getting a bunch of emails and comments and stuff on YouTube about, hey, how do I make larger Buckyballs out of PHiZZ units? So I want to talk about that a little bit, and so here's what I mean. Like, here's a larger Buckyball they can make out of PHiZZ units. And how do you make something like this? It obviously takes a lot of pieces of paper, but what's the structure? In order to make something like this, you have to understand how these objects go together. You know, how do they work, and all that kind of stuff. Here's another one. This is a slightly smaller one, but still, I think this is 120 pieces of paper. The one I showed before was 270, I think. But still, what's going on here? How do you even get started making something like this? I want to try to talk about that. Another question is the colors. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to talk about that this time. But so like I said, in order to do this, you have to understand what's going on with the structure of Buckyballs. So take a look at this. Here is a classic Buckyball. It is the soccer ball, otherwise known as the truncated icosahedron. You spin it around, you can see it's got pentagons and hexagons. 12 pentagon faces, 20 hexagon faces. Okay, it's easier to see that if you actually change the colors. Yeah, so you got colored pentagons, and then there are all the hexagons in blue. Now you can make bigger Buckyballs than this. Okay, Buckyballs just have to have all pentagon and hexagon faces, okay, and all vertices degree 3. But here you can still see the pentagons, but there's a lot more hexagons in between them. That makes a bigger Buckyball. Kind of cool, all right? So in order to understand the structure of this, you have to pay attention to the pentagons. There's always 12 pentagons in a Buckyball, okay? So how you arrange the hexagons in between them totally determines the Buckyball. Here's another one, okay? There's a pentagon staring right at you. And you can see there's lots of hexagons in between. But again, the pentagons are always evenly spread out around the Buckyball. So what you want to do is, again, focus on the pentagons and pick an arrangement of hexagons in between them. And you want to use that same arrangement between any 3 neighboring pentagons. So here I've highlighted the hexagons in between 3 pentagons, and there is what I call a tile. Okay, that tile is what you're going to use to make your Buckyball. That's going to be like your roadmap. So you end up making pictures like this. Okay? Here is a roadmap for making a bigger Buckyball. Alright? You got your 3 pentagons, okay? And some arrangement of hexagons in between them that is nice and symmetric and all this kind of stuff, okay? And the way you want to think about it is that this is going to happen in between any triple of pentagons, okay? And so this is what you use when you start making units. So you need to make a lot of units. You know, with the PHiZZ unit, you can make pentagons and hexagons. So you have like pentagon, you have hexagons, okay. And what you really want to do though is start with a pentagon, okay. So this pentagon is going to basically like maybe be this top pentagon right here, okay. And underneath that, I'm going to need to make a hexagon, right? So I'm going to build a hexagon right underneath here. I can't take a hexagon I already made and kind of like, oh, put it in there. Well, because, you know, you have to replace the units. You have to kind of take some of these units out and stick those in. It's much easier if you start with the pentagon and just build on it, okay? So I'm going to try to do this thing where I show you what's going on the table here. So here's my roadmap, which you don't really need to see, but here's my pentagon. So I want to start making some hexagons. I need to make another one right underneath here. So I got to take my units and start doing that. Okay, so what do I have here? I have some reds and some blues. Alright, so let's see. So right here, I'm not going to pay attention to the colors too much. I'm just going to make, and I'm going to do this pretty fast since this is really supposed to be about how to make the Buckyballs, not how to put PHiZZ units together. But if you watch what I'm doing, once you get experience with PHiZZ units, you can get pretty fast at, you know, putting them together and stuff. Of course, now I'm slowing down because I'm talking at the same time. But, yeah. So there's one, and now let's see, I'm going to put another blue one here. So, like, for example, I need to put a blue one right there, but I'm going to actually stick my red unit into my blue first before I put it in, because then it's actually just goes a lot faster. It's easier to do that red one ahead of time. Okay? And now I'm making a hexagon. Okay, so I need one more color there. So let's get a red. Put it in there. Make this go around. And then I want to put these together. So I'm going to put a red in first. because as soon as I put this blue inside that green, it'll lock, and it'll be much harder to get a unit in there. So I put this one in first. Then I put the blue in the green. Then I put the green in the red. Yeah. Okay. So, looking at my roadmap here, that's my pentagon and the hexagon underneath it. You can't see that very well. There we go. Alright, so let's see. Let's look at my roadmap. I just made that hexagon. I need another one below it, and I'm going to need two on the side. So I need to make another, let's see, here's my pentagon. I need to make another hexagon right under here, and hexagons there and there. So let me go do that. Again, I'm not paying too much attention about the colors, but there is a rhyme and reason to the colorings, if you care to figure it out. Of course, there's lots of different ways to color this. Right? You can do like a wacko rainbow coloring, or you could, you know, color all the pentagons the same color so you could see them well, and then color the hexagons some other pattern. Just tons of different artistic coloring things you can do. Yeah. Alright, what do we got now? Now we got our pentagon, hexagon, hexagon. Remember I need two hexagons here and there. So let's see. I'm going to get another red here, and a blue. Right, after this hexagon, I gotta regroup, figure out, what goes next. Because I know at some point I have to make some more pentagons. Alright, so let's take stock here. What do we have? Okay. Well, again, use our roadmap. We need pentagon I've just made, the top pentagon, and these 4 hexagons. I'm going to need some other hexagons here. I'm going to need like another hexagon here, and then I can put a pentagon here. Another hexagon, and then another hexagon, another pentagon, and I'll need another hexagon on the bottom there. So you can kind of see this. Got pentagon and those 4 hexagons. We need another hexagon on the bottom, and one on the left and the right, and then I can make my pentagons. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, that was a hexagon. Hexagon right there. So now I need another one here. Finish that off. Great. Now, if you remember, I needed one more hexagon. And that had to go in between the 2 hexagons I just made. I just made this one and this one. This has got to be another hexagon. It needs another green. Great. Now let's take a look at that.